Do you want to edit like this? Well, today I'm going to do a full breakdown of this edit. You will learn crucial concepts that will elevate your cinematic edits. You will also see my exact workflow and all my secrets to creating stunning videos. By the way, I'm Matt. I'm a full-time video editor and I'm here to show you everything I learned about video editing over past 8 years. You see, when you edit cinematic videos, there's one thing that's by far the most important. And let me talk about it a little bit before we jump into the program. Imagine you go travel to a different country. You land, leave your things at the hotel and go outside. The thing is, you don't really know where to go. Well, you would end up going around the city for hours and feel lost. But what if you had the list of places you want to see? You would set up your navigation and go straight to those places without wasting any time. It would be a great trip and you would feel like it was all worth it. And when you edit videos, you also need to know where you want to go. Having a clear vision is the biggest factor in making amazing videos. Big production companies hire people that are working only on that vision. But you don't need to have an entire team to do it. You can do it all by yourself. On paper, Google Docs, or even in your head. Whatever works for you. But the most important thing is that you know where you're going. So for this video, I was doing a car edit. I wanted to go for two specific emotions: inspiration and nostalgia. I wanted to tell a story about passion and fun. Capture that feeling when you're driving in your loved car and enjoy every second of it. And I made every decision based on it. I wanted to show a car that is timeless, so I went for vintage Mustang. To showcase inspiration, I went for galloping horses. Horse is the symbol of the brand and it represents the origin. Also, cutting from car shots to horse shots would add some nice contrast. Okay, enough talking. Let me jump into Premiere and show you how I did it. So I started with getting all the footage organized in one sequence that I called select. Everything is color labeled, so I know where to look for things when I edit. And the first thing I did was choose a music track that I liked. Let me tell you why music first. I like to have tracks selected before I start editing for two reasons. First of all, it sets the pace for the entire edit. I know where I want things to be slower, where I want things to be faster, so I have a solid structure. And the second thing is that I can cut to the beat of the music. That will make sure the pacing of your edit is on point. I selected this track. It feels like it has some sort of inspiration and nostalgia to it, so it aligned with my vision. I use stems, but it's not necessary. I just like to have a bit more control over the track. For someone who doesn't know what stems are, they are separate tracks for each instrument of the song. That way you can get rid of things you don't want and adjust everything to your liking. Before I started placing the visuals, I edited the track. I selected the moments that I like and I cut them down to specific length. I also got rid of some instruments. After that, I moved to the visuals. First, let me show you the concept behind cutting the shots, and then I will go into more detail on specific moments, effects and transitions. I wanted to make the story follow the structure of the music. So for the intro, I wanted to show the guys start the car and get ready. This sequence has a lot slower pace as the guy is preparing for the ride. For the first drop, I wanted to show him cruising around, but I still wanted to make it feel quite chill. It's like a bridge for the edit. It starts to pick up on pace, but it's still not quite there. And then for the final drop, I wanted to show him racing and going full speed. That part was a lot more intense, so I went for faster cuts and more dynamic shots. I cut to the shots of a horse that goes through somewhat similar story to create a nice narrative. Let me go through the shots now and I'll show you how I did the specific cuts, effects and transitions. Okay, so let's start breaking down the shots. For the first part, I went with cutting on action. For example, where he starts the car and puts it in the first gear, I cut on the same exact moment in both shots. Cutting on action will make sure your story has a nice flow. Here I introduced the first shot of the horse to set the tone and add contrast. I showed close-up of horse's eye, and when he blinks, I cut to the lights turning on. This creates a strong link between the two subjects. Okay, so here we go into the first drop. I wanted the pacing to pick up a little bit here. I used a speed ramp transition right on the drop to make things a bit more dynamic. I added a subtle flash on top to make it a bit more smooth. Basically it's just a metric color with animated exposure. Okay, so here I did the match cut of the car in different scenes. Match cut is a really cool effect that I like to use. Here it's meant to show the pass of time as he changes the location. To do the match cut, you match the scale and position of certain element in different shots. As you can see here, it basically cuts to the different shot, but the car stays in the same position. How you can do it is lowering the opacity on one of the shots and matching it this way. Or you can also draw out the guides to help you. I used another shot of the horse to transition into the next segment, which is the final drop. Here we go from the medium pace to the most dynamic point of the edit, and I felt like this shot is the perfect way to show it. In the previous part, the car is cruising, then horse running in slow motion starts to pick up on pace. Another horse is running after him, and then we transition into the cars racing. So it's a perfect connection between all the elements, from one car, horse that represents this car, two horses, and then two cars. For the transition itself, I used this whip punch shot to add a bit more energy, so together it looks something like this. And here we're getting to the most intense segment of the edit. Cuts here are a lot faster and shots are a lot more dynamic. I use the beats in the music to get the rhythm for the cuts. This is what I call a pass-by transition. To get this effect, you need a shot where subject is moving through the frame in one direction. It reveals the next shot as it goes through the frame. You can use a simple mask here with some feather and animate the path. Okay, so here we have another speed ramp with the whip punch shot to transition into the final part of the edit. This part is pretty mellow, so I used a lot more static shots and the cuts are a lot slower. And that is pretty much it when it comes to the visuals. But for cinematic edits, there is something that is even more important than that. Something most editors forget about, even though it's 50% of the video, and that's sound design. Audio is so crucial to making people feel things. It's impossible to make a powerful edit if you neglect the audio. And on this edit, I spent 70% of the time working on sound design. It's what really brings this video to life. Here's the edit with only sound effects. As you can see, it works even without the music. I started the sound design process on this one with Foley. Foley sounds represent what you can see in the frame. I started layering different sounds to make them match certain actions. So for example, this scene has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sounds of just Foley. Let me break them down for you so you can see how I combine them. Here's the cinematic whoosh or impact, I don't even know how to call it. You can see that it doesn't sound like a closing door at all. And that's a big tip for you, always get creative with your sound effects. They don't have to be exactly what you see on the screen. That's the beauty of sound, you can design it yourself. I layered it with the deep impact to add some more punch to it. Here's the sound. And here's a bit more metallic percussive sound. And once we layer all three, it gives us a really nice impact to show the doors closing. For the next shot, I added this car revving sound. Layered it with this very nice cinematic sound that adds some more unique quality to it. Then I added the gear sound to add some more texture. It also represents the car turning on. Bass drop sound effect to add some more dimension. And some clicks to add a bit more punch. Also represent turning the gear. And all these 8 sounds together sound like this. Big pro tip from me, I usually overdo the sound design at first. I put in a lot more layers than I need and then I mute them to see which ones should stay. That way you can make your edit feel really impactful and then clean it up by taking things away. I repeated the process for the rest of the Foley sounds throughout the edit, but I won't go over them because there's just too many. After I was done with Foley, I added atmospheric sounds. Atmosphere sounds give this sense of surrounding and space. For example, here I used AC sounds since he's in a garage. Then I used car engine sound. And as we cut to the horse, I used the wind sound as well as bird singing sound. I kept the engine sound in the background just to give it a bit more connection. And then after that I added creative sound effects. Things like whooshes, impacts, risers, couple clicks here and there, just to add a bit more punch to it. I didn't go over the top with this, since the sounds I selected for Foley were already very cinematic. I used creative sound effects here just to add a bit more impact and flow to certain parts. I used risers to build up the tension. For example, here I used 3 different risers. They really help to transition into the drop and make it more powerful. First we have a long ambient riser that sets the tone. Then this medium riser that feels really beefy and sets the tension. And the last one is really short and airy, just to give some more texture. After combining all these 3, it sounds like this. For the drop itself, I used 2 impacts. This one is deep and quite soft. And this one has a nice punch to it. After combining the risers and impacts, it sounds like this. It really gives a solid punch to that drop. I used whooshes as transitions between different clips, for example here. Sometimes if you feel like you need a transition but you don't know what to use, try a nice cinematic whoosh. Sound transitions often add a lot more punch, and sometimes they can work better than using some effects you don't need. I won't be going over all the sound effects I used in this edit since there are so many, but I followed the same thought process for the rest. After I had all sounds in place, I mixed the levels to make sure everything is under control and adjusted the panning to add a bit more dimension to certain sounds. At the end I added color grading. Here you can see before and after on some shots. I won't go over color grading in this video, but I might do a full video on it in the future. And that would be pretty much it. Just to summarize, remember to always start with the vision, edit the visuals to match the story, and add sound to create immersive experience. Always stay creative and keep trying new things. You never know what's going to stick unless you try it. Hit that subscribe button if you liked the video, because there will be a lot more coming. See you in the next one.